Hello and welcome on in. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In front of us, you can see we have 3 piles, and you can tell by the title of today's video or by the thumbnail, this is about expansion. This is about growth. This is about finding out what is blocking you and what you need to surrender in order to receive your blessings, in order for this growth to happen, for this change to happen, how we can progress certain areas of our life, okay? So that is what we're taking a deeper dive into today. We always start with some tarot and then we move into oracles later in the reading. However, what we first got to do is have you pick your pile, and we're doing that by either 1, 2, or 3, by choosing whichever deck is calling to you, if you just like the left side or the right side, or perhaps you're more in the middle of things, okay? So there you go. Once you can always pause this video too at any point if you need to take the time to choose your deck. That's absolutely fine. Take as long as you need to. And some of you might be in tune to choose more than one. That's okay too, because each reading can like attune to a different area of your life. We won't know until we get into there. And once you've made your selection, in the description box below, you'll see timestamps. You'll see pile 1 and you'll see a timestamp. All you have to do is click on those numbers on that timestamp and it will fast forward you to your reading, okay? So for example, if you picked pile 3 and you don't want to watch 1 and 2, that's fine. You just click on that timestamp and you can fast forward to pile number 3, okay? So I think that's about it. Any other information you need about me, and there are other places to hang out like in the Discord or on Twitch, you will find in the description below. I'm happy to have you here. Welcome on back. If you're coming back and returning to the channel, you know I love to have you. And enjoy your reading. I will catch you in whatever pile you've selected, okay? Bye. Hello and welcome in pile number 1. Happy to have you here. Let me get this started while I discuss a little bit of what's going to be going on for your reading today. If you're new here, just so you know, we are starting with tarot first, and then we move on to oracles later. And I just need to make you aware that this is a general reading. The catch-22 for that is that that means there could be a message in here for you, and there could be messages in here that just don't make sense and do not pertain to you, and that is because they pertain to somebody else. That is just how general messages work, unfortunately or fortunately. So you'll hear me say for some of you this, some of you that, because some of it, all of it can apply to you and some of it can apply to you. So you're going to have to trust your intuition. You're going to have to trust it to find in your gut feeling, what feels right, what is meant for you to hear, and what is something you just need to, like basically what you resonate with, and just disregard all that you don't. Okay? All right, let's get started with your reading. Let's find out what is blocking you from growing, what is blocking you from your expansion, your progression, right? And then we'll find out if there's a particular area, but when we get all the cards on here, if there's a particular area that pile number 1 needs to address more than other areas of your life, we will find that out. So 5 of Wands. First up is energy. It is conflict. It is pushing boundaries. Some of you are afraid to get uncomfortable. And what I mean by that, with that 5 of Wands energy, is that if you're afraid to get uncomfortable and you always stay in a form of just being always comfortable in what you're doing, you'll never grow, because growth is uncomfortable. How many times can I say comfortable and uncomfortable in one video? Let's do a counter. So that's just kind of like what I'm getting from here, from this energy. And this also could be energy of other people pushing your buttons. They're pushing boundaries. The Knight of Cups. What's really hard for you right now, maybe you're thinking about growth in 2 aspects. One can be in romance. You're trying to pour your energy into romance and it's just not really working. For some of you, this is dealing with your intuition and psychic abilities. It's hard for you to trust that gut feeling. It's hard for you to trust that intuition. You want to put more faith in it, but maybe you're more of a logical person. The Knight of Cups also brings in Pisces energy, and this could just be attuned to anyone here who has Pisces placements, or this could just be for the Pisces season, okay? And you don't have to have a lot of Pisces placements for this to be meaning for your energy. It could be something that's around you. like a person that's around you that might be distracting you. This is the kind of conflict that we're having. Eight of Swords. So we bring this into the Eight of Swords, that feeling very restricted. You don't feel like you have a lot of freedom right now. And this could be because you feel like you're stuck in a certain place, because you feel like you're being pulled in different directions, right? So you feel like you're being pulled in different directions, so you don't feel that freedom of choice. Ace of Cups. Some of you might be feeling very drained, but that's to be expected with your energy being pulled into different directions, for your energy to be dealing with a lot of people. People in general might be what's draining you, and why you're feeling no progression, why you're feeling no growth, is because as soon as you fill your cup, someone else is draining you. And this is also coming from a place because mentally you're exhausted. Right now we have cups, we have got wands, we got swords, we're just waiting for some pentacles in here. But so right now we can just see a priority, especially with the two cups in here, feeling very drained. It is a challenge for you to keep your cup there. Maybe that's why some of you are seeking a partner that can help fill your cup up, can help make you feel special, make you feel you're not trapped, because they can take some of your responsibilities just like you would do for them in that situation. But when things become very stressful, you need someone to talk to, you need someone to vent to. Wheel of Fortune. You've been having an issue also feeling like fate is on your side. And this is a card connected to Jupiter, which is about growth and expansion. And it's been feeling like fate hasn't been on your side. You're not seeing also the blessings with that Eight of Swords covering your eyes right there. You don't feel or see the blessings that are currently around you. You don't see the places you can go. You don't see how things are working in your favor. But we have this thing of the fixed signs around here. We've got Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo. Those are the fixed signs of the zodiac. And what that means is stability. Okay, and eventually this is also comes with a warning, like keep your eyes open, double check everything, because fate has this habit of turning things upside down on you, because everything goes in a form, it goes in a cycle. Which is interesting with this being a 10 as well. It means something is coming to a cycle or a close, and maybe you're resisting that. For some of you, that could be dealing with the relationship, just an emotional relationship, putting boundaries between you and that other person. Two of Wands, just talking about balance, talking about also, we have a phone in the hand of this person right here, and we have it where it means gathering and having the information that you need and all the resources that you need at your fingertips. Okay, there is more that you can do in the sense of like connecting with others. If some of you need to read how to set boundaries with others, this is the sign to do so. There's great books out there that can help you with that. Can be getting in contact with someone to help you with that, like professional help for that. For some of you, this is about seeing how far you can grow. You don't see your potential. Like I said, it feels like fate isn't on your side, so you feel very trapped. You don't see how far you actually go and all the resources you have at your fingertips. This doesn't have to be a phone. This can be a computer. This can be a book. This could be a journal. This is all the resources you have ready to go at your fingertips. Okay, if only you would see it and then implement it, like start the path there. The Hermit. Some of you are trying to get out of the hermit mode to be open to love, but you're also like not feeling like you deserve it. And growth and expansion, for some of you, this might be more of a love reading. If it's feeling more for love for you, think of it this way. You can't be open to love. Like, it's really hard for you to be open because you've had either a tough lesson or like a lesson of feeling very trapped, and there was like a lot of arguments in the relationship, so someone had to go. Either that someone was you, and you don't want to hermit yourself up. This is also Virgo energy of being service to others. This also pertains now, if this is not dealing with love, this is also dealing with people who have been a service to others so much that this is why you're feeling drained. People have been coming for your energy, they've been coming for your time, they've been just pulling you apart at some points, criticizing you, thinking, trying to make you do all of this work, and it has made you so drained and you've shut yourself off. Versus, maybe connecting with only two other people, trying to see where you can put down your roots. Like we see, like how this staff right here is standing on its own. it is in the ground because it is grounded energy. So we have a lot of this energy that is flying throughout the air, that your thoughts are all over the place. This is where you need to weed out those thoughts that no longer suit you, and you need to ground your energy. You need to have prime focus. You don't need it everywhere. You don't need it going to everybody. You need to claim your energy back. Pile number 1. This is about you bringing it back to you. 9 of Pentacles, our first earth card, our first pentacle, that earth energy being present right here. And it's kind of interesting that it's sitting here in the middle because we just talked about grounding your energy. This is about self-satisfaction, pile number 1. And this is also about, for your growth and expansion, not putting everything into one basket. This is about where I was saying you're trying to see all of your resources and what you can do with them. You have potential, you just don't see it. You know, it may sound cheesy, but it's ringing very true here for you, pile number 1. Your potential is limitless. There's a lot of things you could be doing. There's a lot of things you've already invested your time into that you need to be proud of. Okay, there's also projects that you've been really interested in doing and wanting to see because they're going to bring you a form of financial benefit. For some of you, you could be seeing or needing, this is not seeing, but requiring some self-care time. You're not giving that to you. You're not, because like if you feel like you haven't worked, like some people are very like you haven't worked enough. And that's why we're seeing this burnout, this drained energy. Like you're feeling the drained energy, but in your mind, you haven't worked enough to deserve a moment of peace, a moment of self-care, whether that is gardening or going to a spa or spending money on a nice new outfit, something that makes you just feel comfortable and surrounded by luxury. You need to have that moment. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is interesting because that is more Virgo energy. Okay. On the bottom, we have the Tower. Mars energy being present. Very interesting because while we see, like I said, there was a lot of chaotic energy for your reading, pile number 1. When we see the Tower coming into here, a lot of people are very like scared of that Tower energy, but in reality it's kind of giving you the implication of like, hey, whatever you were trying to build wasn't gonna last in the first place. And for some of you, that is a relationship. This is about a relationship because you're not even comfortable with your own voice anymore. You don't want to hear the criticisms of yourself in your voice about your relationship. You're trying to see the good in it, and you're not also seeing how independent you can be, that you don't need another person. For some of you, this might be a person dealing with that Virgo energy. They're very manipulative, they're very dull, they're very like you wanted someone who's romantic, but you're not getting that romantic. They're not someone who takes care of you when you need them to, you know, and they're not loving or nurturing. They don't do romance. They're very much dull because they're very practical. And that's probably why we see not a lot of pentacles in this reading. And for some of you, this could be dealing with someone who just at work is so stressful because they try acting too practical. They're penny pitching. They're very, you know, they're also very lazy. Okay, and you're like, I can't work with this anymore. They stress me out, you know, and you're better suited to take a better position, okay, in the job that you're currently at. So that Tower energy is kind of coming through like we need to break things apart to rebuild it. And that's why we have this invitation from this Two of Wands energy, because you're going to see the resources, you're going to be able to adapt and change if you allow it. Like I said, it's going to feel like fate is not working in your favor when they perhaps take something away from you, but it is because it is for your benefit. It's being done, the universe is doing this for you, not to you, but for you, because you need to be able to see yourself in a more independent way. You need to be comfortable with your own voice. So to get that growth and expansion, which is at the core of all of this, with that Wheel of Fortune being present there, you have to keep this in mind about being like a certain level of discipline. If this is relating, the Knight of Pentacles is relating to your energy, it's being disciplined, but it's also being independent. It is being self-sufficient, okay? And this is doing things for you. This whole row is about doing things for yourself and cutting out these other people that might be stressing you out and draining your energy. They're taking a lot of your time that you can't dedicate to your own projects. It's what's holding you back, and that's because you're not setting boundaries. You're setting boundaries on yourself, like maybe the inability to say no when a new project comes up, the inability to turn off your phone when they try to reach out. That's where that comes into play. And that's why that tower is there, because even though it seems like it's more about how you can adapt and change to the situation that's happening. It's nothing to be too alarmed by. All right, I'm pushing everything over because we're bringing in some oracle cards. We're going to start with the fan favorite of surrender cards. Let me grab them. Okay, what does pile 1 need to surrender? Pile 1, what do you need to surrender? Surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. And this is why some of you feel like it's, even though you're tied up and you can't see anything, that you feel very comfortable. Oh my gosh, surrender the habit of people pleasing. Literally, when people are trying to reach out to you, you've got to say no. You've got to say no. You got to learn to say no, pile number 1. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And then surrender to rest and sleep. To prevent burnout, slow down. Honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. We're literally just talking about this. Let me see if I get that into frame. Literally just talking about this. Surrender the habit of pleasing people. You've got to learn to say no, pile number 1. You know, even though you want to work hard for them, you got to work harder for yourself then, and you don't have the time to do so, okay? You can think of that Wheel of Fortune, if I can get the glare to go away, as a clock, and then it gets dark. You know, where are you going to dedicate that time if you don't learn to say no? And then I was telling you earlier about how, like, some of you feel like you're not allowed to rest. You're not allowed to have a moment of self-care. Right here, surrender to rest and to sleep. You're going to have to do that. And for some of you, that also is implying you can't be up late at night surfing on your phone. Like, you can. You might need more discipline to learn how to put the phone down at night, okay? If it's not anything that's going to work on your mind, like fantasy books are fine. Like, if you're reading a book and it's fine, if you're being entertained because it relaxes your mind so you can go to bed, that's absolutely fine. But if you're just scrolling nonstop, and I mean, I'm guilty of this on Twitter and TikTok every night, to where you're not getting enough sleep the next, for the next morning to put your energy, this could be like a never-ending cycle as well until it breaks. And that could be, you end up crashing the next morning, like you don't wake up, you don't listen to your alarm clock, and you just sleep the day away, and then your sleep schedule is all screwed up. So try to prevent that, okay? And that means having to take some steps and taking care of yourself. Let me grab, here we go, let's grab this one here. Let's see what these oracles have to say. What advice do you have for pile number 1? Yeah, that's not going to. Let's try this. These cards are always so huge for my hands. That's why you'll see me do this every time. Library, take control of your own narrative, and that's just ringing true again for surrendering the habit of pleasing people. Don't let other people control or dictate your time. Red, forgive. You need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive, like if you've had some bad habits, You know, forgive yourself and be like, you're only human. It happens. You know, and we see a tub here. We see roses. We still see someone who's going to surround themselves in beauty, okay? And maybe the color red would do you some good because it might give you that boost of confidence. Actually, those actually might be tomatoes. They're either tomatoes, yeah. Which is interesting because there's tomatoes right here. And then tree, let them go. For some of you, I was talking about a partner. You need to let them go. For some of you, it's not a partner as in a significant other. For some of you, we have a tree, which symbolizes the family tree. You might have a person in your life that is a family member that is draining your energy. They are the one that is nitpicking and being so critical of every move you make that it feels like they're taking control of your life, and you need to let them go. And for some of you, you're forgiving them, but you're not forgetting. It's more so that you don't harp on it anymore. So you want to be able to forgive them just so you have the power to move on. 1, 2, let's see. We have beauty, dare to be tender and strongly vulnerable. Literally, again, self-care moments, self-care. And there's a lot of stuff on my channel, on my TikTok. If you want a special, like, to pick a self-care card, I would check that out, because I will not be adding self-care to this reading. I do it for all the other readings, so I figured let's do something different this time. So we've got beauty, dare to be tender and strongly vulnerable. We have discover, look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. Discovering something that's for yourself. That means, like, we have something, you know, about waking up early because you're going to bed at a reasonable time. And adapt. You will get yourself where you want to be. Adapt. And I said you have the power to adapt. You have those resources available. You just have to learn to say no. Okay, pile number 1, this was your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed this video, if it resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. I love to read your comments. Also, please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the style of this video. Subscribe to the channel, all that good YouTube stuff. Share this with a friend. It greatly helps me out, and I do appreciate the support. And if you're inclined to, join us in the Discord, or if you would like to do an energy exchange with me, my Ko-Fi is in the link. I appreciate it. You tip me via, you know, through PayPal so I can get a coffee, so I have energy to continue doing these readings for you, because I love to do them. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello and welcome in pile number 2. This is your reading. If you're new here, welcome on in, of course. And just so you know, we start this with tarot and we move on to oracles later within the reading. Also, I'd just like to note that this is a general reading, which means that some of this might resonate and some of it might not. You'll just have to kind of trust your intuition. That's why you'll hear me say for some of you is this, some of you is that. I try to be very inclusive on the topics covered here. Sometimes it's very clear, the message from spirit, onto like what topic we're discussing for everybody, and sometimes it kind of can touch base within many. That is just the catch when it comes to the style of these general readings. So just be aware of that, okay? And so let us find out for pile number 2, what is blocking you from your progression? What is blocking you from growth? What is preventing you from seeing your progress? Okay, let's get started. One card, thank you. We have judgment, so you can see it like that. So we have judgment being present here. This could be for some of you, you've been seeking a spiritual enlightened moment, or you're not feeling a connection with the divine. Maybe you're very spiritually driven and you're not feeling that connection. You don't feel protected. You don't feel like there's a lot of hesitation in your progression because you fear that type of change. Judgment is connected to the planet Pluto, which is connected to, you know, transformation, but also like in a bit of sacrifice. Like, what are you going to give up for this? And for a lot of you, that could be comfortability. Six of Wands. Okay, so some of you have been really like judging your path. You've been judging your victories. You haven't been feeling victorious, or you've been feeling like someone's been knocking you down. Let me show this like this. If my camera would like to focus, please and thank you. Well, that's okay. I think it's because there's a lot of shadows on this card. So we have that Six of Wands. It's very challenging also to see your progress. Maybe you're highly critical of yourself, pile number 2, or there is a stern voice that is around you that's constantly putting you down. One card. Four of Cups, deep meditation, opportunities. When we see the Four of Cups come into here, and we kind of see this as well with that Six of Wands being reversed, that Judgment being reversed, needing and requiring meditation. Your growth, you're focusing in on these 3 cups right here, and this could be connected to mind, body, and soul. This could be 3 opportunities that you feel like you haven't been seen growing lately. You haven't felt an emotional or spiritual connection with them, and so you're very bored of them. So boredom is running supreme right now with you. And you need to have this moment of meditation, because you have to decide if you want a new opportunity into your life, or if you want to swap out one of the old and embrace the new. King of Cups. So when I see the King of Cups, this is how I read for the King of Cups. I associate it with Scorpio energy, which is interesting because we have Judgment, which Pluto to Scorpio. Kind of see where I'm going here, right? So this could mean that is someone around you. I said someone might be very critical of you, that is giving that like the very, they're judging you, judging your story, judging like your path. This could be someone with high Scorpio placements in their chart, or a form of communication like Scorpio and Mercury, or that sort of thing. Or I know a lot of people won't know the charts of the people around them, so this is mostly attuned to your energy. But anyways, the King of Cups, at least when it's upright like this means that it isn't dealing with like your emotions. Like even if you're feeling bored, you're very analytical about things, but you also deeply care about those that are around you. Let me see, make sure I have enough room. And we have the Knight of Swords. Some of you, okay, so it's becoming more and more clear. The Knight of Swords I associate also with Gemini energy. A great form of communication, but in this sense, in the placement of this, like the heart of the problem is going to be your form of communication. Perhaps you're bored with it, or perhaps you can't communicate your emotions because, like I said, you're not feeling spiritually connected. You're not feeling connected with your family members, your ancestors, with the spirit. So you're having a hard time communicating your needs and your wants, and also vocalizing your victories. 10 of Cups. This could be dealing with matters at home, since it is Cups. We're having a lot of Cups so far into your reading, so this could be a lot of like weight on your heart. Like you're trying to figure out your emotions. You're trying to better your emotional intelligence to a situation. There could be someone behind the scenes manipulating the situation. But we're having a problem communicating. We're also, like I said, we see the cards here. So this would tell me more. This is about more of your domestic life. This is more about family. You're bored of the situation as it is, because maybe you want to be out on your own. You want to be more independent, but you fear this sort of independence. You're fearful of the judgment, and this could come from a father-like figure in your life, or someone who holds that more masculine energy, or portrays more masculine energy. You're afraid of disappointing them. You're afraid of their judgment. It might be holding you back, and you don't know how to communicate your emotions with this person, because they could be just very more logical about things. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, so more water energy coming into there. This person and you may not see eye to eye. And then we have, again, like I said, you might be wanting to do things very more independent, and we're having an issue with independence in here, because that Gemini energy, that Knight of Swords right here, is someone who can go on their own path. They can do that. The Chariot comes into here. It brings on Cancer energy, which is about the home. Cancers are about nourishing their home, very much connected with their family. You may not have a good relationship with your family for some of you, and for some of you your family relationship is good, but maybe you're not still able to fully express. You might be feeling like you're hiding some of your emotions, like this person has their emotions down here. in the water. You're not fully able to express those, or you're scared of disappointing. You're scared of disappointing your family. And we have, like I said, the Chariot is lacking that sort of discipline and that willpower to stay consistently on your path, and also creating your own path. And this could be creating your own space at home. If you need a space at home that you can be able to sit and meditate to, that is away from your family, so you can have a moment of silence and communication. Queen of Cups, which I associate as well with Cancer energy. So that's interesting. We've got 2 Cancer cards right next to each other, which is so interesting to see. The Queen of Cups in reverse. We have the mind versus the heart right now. A lot of you can't bring that into alignment. You need that moment of meditation to dedicate to your creative side. Some of you are having that issue. You're very stubborn. You're very much sure you're not going to solve this problem creatively. You're not finding your muse. That's why you're not feeling victorious, because you're kind of in the mindset, you're running through the circle the same way over and over and over. And we have the moon. The moon is attached to Pisces. We have now, with all the cards here, between Scorpio, Cancer, and now Pisces. And the moon also rules over Cancer as well, which is very interesting. There could be a lot of Cancer energy. That means someone around you has a lot of Cancer placements, or you yourself have a lot of Cancer placements. That'd be finding more information about your birth chart. And then here we have Strength. We finally have some fire in this reading as well, with Leo being present. And this is Fear. This is the core. This is like the card that pushes upon all others. It can touch base with all of these other cards. Fear of the unknown. Wanting to bring things into the light, but you feel very secretive. That's why we don't see the celebration of your small victories. You're very bored with what you're doing now. You need to be able to express yourself creatively. You need a new form of communication. If you're doing a lot of communication via text, try via video. If you're doing communication, you want to try maybe audio files, that would be something to do. Do it, versus photos, or, if you have not tried videos, do videos. And this fear is what's really draining you. This fear is what's breaking down your barriers, or and I should say, not breaking down your barriers, but your barriers to communication. It's you're fearful of talking about your feelings. You're fearful of trusting your intuition, or trusting your heart, for the matter. Leo is connected to what's holding true to your heart. And having, and also in reverse, it's kind of like low self-esteem. It's lacking confidence in your words, lacking confidence even in your own emotions. I feel like maybe someone here could be gaslighting you a lot. They could be making you feel very wary about, very cautious about what you say and what you do, and you don't even trust your connection to the divine because you don't see the signs. You're not asking for the right signs, or you're not asking to communicate with the divine or for the universe, send me a sign in this, in divination, or when you're just browsing, you're kind of secluding yourself. You're not leaving your path. That's why you're having an issue seeing your progression, seeing your expansion. You can't be so fearful of the dark, or trusting. What I'm seeing here is the core of the matter comes from trusting your intuition and putting into words what you are feeling and what you are fearful of, to see your fears written out so that you can be able to conquer them. And you might, like I said, you have to do this probably alone, starting off alone. You need to have that moment of silence just for yourself to meditate on this matter before you can bring anybody else in, because it has to be your own voice. You have to trust and reason and talk with yourself. With all of these water vibes coming into here, you need to get your emotions under control. And you might be so you're trying to get control of your emotions. There might be someone that is a mentor, like how we have the Knight of Swords looking over at the King of Cups. Maybe there's someone that's a mentor that you look up to. You're like, you know what, you do a really great job. What can I learn from you to better to communicate my feelings towards my families, towards my friends, towards my chosen family? I don't want to be fearful of this any longer. And I also want to feel my connection to the divine, my spiritual path. Maybe some of you are trying to do this, grow spiritually, but we're having this problem with independence. You're too fearful of doing something wrong that you're doing nothing. Okay, let me move everyone over. because we're going to bring in some oracles, so we kind of need some space for that. I just thought about this too. This is a form of progression because we go from Gemini to Cancer, and then we ended with Leo. And in the zodiac, the way that they're laid out, it's Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So very interesting. All right, so let's find out directly what you need to surrender. This is a fan favorite, so we always kind of keep this in rotation when I do these readings. Okay, pile number 2, what do you need to surrender? Okay, so we have the first 2, and let me get the bottom one. Interesting. You're going to get a bonus one for sure. Surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. And this is what I was talking about, that deep meditation. Like, what is stressing you out? What are you fearful for? And this card is really great for in the moment. Like, it's easy to say, just surrender your stress. Just get rid of it. It's easier said than done. It's more about surrendering your stress for a moment so you can analyze it. That King of Cups energy. This is your emotional intelligence taking place. This is how you're going to better communicate it if you can better figure out what is going on. What are you so fearful of? Are you fearful that you don't deserve abundance, that you don't deserve progression, you don't deserve success? What is it that's stressing you out? If you become more successful, what is going to add on to your stress versus taking it away? That is something you realize. That's why you need to meditate on this. You can't get that answer from others. You need to have your own voice in the matter. Surrender to miracles. More water vibes, moons and water coming into here. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. And miracles, in other words, is your connection with the universe, with the divine, with your ancestors, with your divine spiritual team, whichever which way you like to address, your deity, your God, anything of that nature. This is what we're talking about, is surrendering to those miracles. I feel like some of you, especially with those cards being reversed, are shutting it out. You're choosing not to see it, and that's why we're seeing this disconnect. I saw this pop up and I know I had to see it. It was coming alongside with the surrender to play. Surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. We've just discussed this, so I won't go too deeply into that because I just said, some of you have low self-esteem. That's why you don't believe you deserve abundance. And so Spirit was just kind of there, like, let's just, bring that back. Let's make that more clear than we did before. And then we had surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. And that's why I was like, some of you are very bored. You're very bored. You're secluding yourself. You're, you want to be independent, but you're not doing it in a way that's beneficial for you. And for some of you, surrendering to play could be with either you and 2 other people. And we see a child in this card. We see a family members. It's surrendering to play. It's an invitation to not resist that. Go have some fun. You don't always have to focus on what, your obligations are and, what's stressing you out. You can go and have some fun, okay? There's nothing wrong. And that's why also the strength card with that Leo energy is also related to inner child work. For some of you, you might have to figure out what your inner child is trying to connect with you and try to say with you. We're going to choose this one. Haven't used these in a while. Thought this would be fun. This would be perfect. What information can you provide to pile number 2? Dragons, slay them all. And this could be your fears. Dragons are your fear. Also, some of you were starting to play, because it's interesting that both characters that are drawn in here or that are pictured have their hair the same way, or both in motion, leading towards a home in both of that. So for some of you, you might need to read a book about dragons. Someone slaying a dragon. Wings, you never needed those wings to fly. This is about taking flight. This is about those independence. This is about seeing also the magic within you that you can take and conquer your problems. And usually in the card of Judgment, you would see wings present in there, and you see that there's no wings in there. So that's why I feel like this is really connected to that Judgment card. Wings, you never needed those wings to fly. You were magic all on your own. And then we have red. This is forgiveness. Let me put this down. We do see some red being present in here. We see some red being in there. This is about forgiving for those stresses and understanding that you're not going to hold on to those resentments anymore. You're going to take care of yourself. You're going to connect with the divine. You might be asking forgiveness for the divine in this moment, you know, being like, I didn't mean to ignore you. I didn't mean to do that. You might want to leave offerings, perhaps tomatoes. I think it's tomatoes that are present in this photo, to your, to your chosen deity, or just something in that nature, like just to put something out on your altar. You may want to do that. Okay. There we go. Radiance. Keep your head held high and follow the sun. Follow the sun, as we see that in that strength card. Keep your head held high and follow the sun. This is following your dreams. This is following your momentum. And we have be present. Use the hours, don't count them. That might deal with some of your stress levels. You're being present in the here and now. You're taking care of things now. You're not judging yourself. You're not comparing, Also, if you're going to use your hours, to read a story, having play, it's beneficial for you. Don't feel like you're wasting your time. And then listen. Be alert. The soft chiming bells call to nearby fairies. This could also just literally mean like listen to an audiobook, or listen to, a book with fairies. Since we have wings, we kind of have this theme going on here. And also listen is like we talked about, listening to your intuition, listening to your guides, the divine, the universe, those signs are trying to send you. Take that moment of silence to listen to them. They're trying to send you your own personal message, okay? So that was your reading, pile number 2. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if this was useful for you, what you like, what you didn't like. I love useful criticism of all kinds. And if you're inclined to do so, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me grow, helps me keep doing this content. Join us in the Discord if you would like to, continue the conversation there. And if you're inclined also to do so, I have my Ko-Fi link, so you can send me a tip. We can do an energy exchange. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you being here and, allowing me to hold the space for you. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome on in. If you are new here, then how we do this, how this goes, is that we start with tarot and then we move into more oracle. That will be after the tarot. Also, just something I would like to point out, because I don't remember actually if I said that in the intro, that this is a general reading. So the catch with general readings is that some of it might resonate with you and some of it will not. That's why you will find me saying, some of you this, some of you that, and that's just because some things are going to resonate, some things won't make sense, and that's okay. Just take what resonates and leave all behind that doesn't. Like I said, that's just the catch when it comes to these general readings, but we work with what we got. It'll still make sense. It'll still have a story to tell. Okay, pile number 3. What is blocking you from reaching your full potential, from seeing improvements, from progressing? What is blocking you from growth, if anything at all? For some of you, we all know that that could be just you're being very, very harsh and criticizing yourself and your path. So, you know, we want to see if there's anything that you can do about something, or like how you feel. We need to find out, though, if there's an area in your life, which we'll find out from the tarot, if it is all over the place, if there's a specific part of your life that requires more of your attention. Okay, so let us get started with your reading. Pile number 3. 8 of Fire. Some of you are in a momentum that you want just to go. You're tired of being in the same place, and you just want momentum. You just want to actually like move. Like you want to go running, or for some of you, this could be like dealing with a health journey. Like you want to start momentum and find that energy to get up and go. For some of you, it's just finding that energy. For some of you, it is wanting to travel. Ace of Earth. Okay, some of you might be having to leave an opportunity to start a new one, or you're having an issue starting. You're having an issue seeing okay, when aces come up, and especially Ace of Earth, very specific. This Earth is also known as like Pentacles. So when Pentacles energy comes into here, it's very subtle. It's very subtle to where it feels very like mundane. You don't actually notice it happening, and it's the type of energy that a lot of people don't even realize is happening, that is going around them. Okay, it's very subtle in that sense. So that could be a challenge also for some of you, is because you're wanting to see, like, we have fire, like you're expecting something just to take off. You're expecting like overnight success, when in reality this is going to take time. 6 of Air. Let me try to see. Such a beautiful card. Beautiful artwork on each of these. Each of these cards have a different artwork from different artists. So 6 of Air, we have this moment again, but through the air sign. So far we have fire, earth, and air, waiting for water to see if water will be present. But we have that 6 of Air, which is about kind of like seeing the sun rise. A lot of you, I just see like getting in a car or traveling. You need a change of environment. This is why things have been very, very dull. But it's hard to find the finances in order to like get things moving, to get things growing for some of you. You're not seeing your resources, or not seeing like where you can invest money, or you have nothing to invest in besides your time and your energy. With 6 of Air, it also brings like needing a fresh new perspective. There we go. Knight of Earth. So we have more earth energy, and the Knight of Earth I put along with association of Virgo energy. Someone who's very disciplined, who knows how to put together a plan. Your plan hasn't been formed just yet. Your mind is kind of going everywhere. This is why it's really hard to see progression, because maybe you're a type of person who needs to see a checklist. This is why we have like that starting point, very small steps that are going to progress into something that will be changing. But we have slow and steady wins the race, that type of thing. It's not going to be overnight success for you. We have the World card. This is gaining information. This is also Saturn energy, which is understanding your limitations, understanding your boundaries. It is also stability. So for some of you, it's creating consistency and stability, okay, to see your improvements happening. For some of you, this is about limiting other people having access to your energy, so that you don't feel super drained, that you can put these thoughts into your own path, into your own projects. But we see kind of like the World, although it is a major arcana card in the drawing of this card, there's a lot of earth energy. It's grounding energy. So when you see your ideas kind of going all over the place, you don't see your growth, you don't see your expansion. Some of you can't envision it. It's too big of a dream for you to realize what is your growth and expansion. Like you don't know the daily life of that person. For some of you, you need to envision yourself a day in the life of that person. What habits would they be doing? saying? What would they be thinking? How would they want you to think of yourself? If you could get advice from your future self, what do you think they would say to you? The Magician. Okay, so this is kind of, well, this is Mercury. This is connected to the planet Mercury of communication. Also going over both Virgo, which we brought up already, and Gemini energy. Planning and communicating. This is also about, remember I said, like, you may not see your resources. You may not see, like, because you may feel like you don't have any resources. You don't have any connections with others. Like, we see the roots growing into the trees here, connecting with the fixed signs of the zodiac, which are bringing the stability, the Taurus energy, the Leo energy, Aquarius and Scorpio energy. We're not seeing that stability. We're not seeing that consistency for some of you. You need to really dedicate your time and effort to this new progression, this new idea, this new version of yourself that you want to see. It needs your time and dedication. This is your invitation as well to seek hidden talents that you do not think that you have. Some of you may feel like you fail in communicating. You might fail in gathering or having control over your senses or control over your mental, your willpower, I should say. You're having like lack of faith, and this is bringing it back to you saying, I don't know why you're having a lack of faith in yourself. With the Six of Air being present, this figure here may not be representing you, but instead your connection to the divine, your connection to your spirit guide, to your ancestor, to something, your divine spiritual team that is looking out for you. They're reaching out for you. They're trying to contact you. They're trying to show you how you have control over the elements, that you have control over your physical realm, your you have more power than you think you do. It's just within you. That's just it. You're looking at things from a material standpoint, and it is important to a certain degree, but there are things and habits that you can create for your success. Page of Water. So we have water being known right now through the page, which is the keeper of water, so keeper of all the signs. So that is your Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energy. The page of water's fresh new beginning. It is trusting your intuition. It is trusting, but it's like a beginner's voice. Like some of you are just starting to kind of hear your voice. This is kind of like, this is also implied for the future realm. If you took like this advice into heart and you're trying to ask your future self of what you can do, what you can, what do you envision or seeing yourself in the future? What does success even look like to you? What would make it feel like it brought you full circle? The page of water there is kind of like, hey, you're starting to listen to your inner voice. Trust it. Do not crush it. Do not doubt it, okay? It's trying to set you in control where you're setting your energy at, trying to pinpoint it and send you off in that direction. Five of Air, a very gruesome looking card. Still beautifully designed though. But Five of Air. So we see this as like very troubling and challenging for you. Which, let me see if I can. These cards are rather large. I might have to zoom out just a little bit so we can kind of see them. They were going to overlap a little bit, but unfortunately that's what we're going to work with. So that Five of Air's energy, but you see the person isn't down and out just yet. They're learning from battles. They're learning from their mistakes. And this is about another aspect of like beginning circle, like you're learning, like think of the World card as you're learning everything from here. You're learning from each attributes in order to reach your completion, to see your progression, to see the growth. You're not going to let these challenges keep you from reaching your success and your goals. Eight of Water, we have another 8 being present into here, and it's another card of change, adaptation, and momentum. It's about kind of also visioning like nothing is truly wrong that is around you. You don't really see anything that's missing, but you're reaching for more. You're reaching for something that completes the heart. And we have the Moon, Pisces energy being present into here. The Moon, which is the crowning card of this deck, which is kind of pushing in all the elements, as you can see, like it can touch base with each of these cards here. It's about trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition, connecting with the inner beast So connecting with like your dark side, your magic, and trusting in the divine and the spirit and the unknown. For some of you, you're trying to really delve into it, and that's why I think we have like, this is all coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of you don't know, like you've never sat down and actually wrote out what success looks like to you or what growth looks like to you. There's no way to keep progression of like, you're just trying to go. You're just trying to keep that momentum. You're just trying to, as a challenge you face, you knock it out of the park. You're just like, okay, I'm going to go take care of this and move on. And then when you look back, you're never taking that time. You're not seeing your own progression. You're not seeing your success. You're not seeing how far along this journey you've come. We have a lot of, eights. We have, like I said, the world card, which is completing a cycle. We have 6. We have only 1 ace here. So it kind of tells me with this pattern is that you are reaching a phase in your life where growth is imminent. It is there, but your greatest challenge is seeing it, number 1. Number 2, acknowledging what it actually is to you before you can accept the next phase, accept your resources, that you are going to try to find something that you really want to reach for. We have this reaching hand again, reaching and moving, just like in the actually kind of reaching up to what the magician is trying to offer you. The magician is trying to bring you that guidance. They're trying to give you a form of communication, as above, so below, taking your ideas and making them a reality, manifesting it. As a matter of fact, when this video is posted, it will be posted on the new moon in Pisces. It's about manifesting your dreams as well with that Pisces, with that moon card, which is connected to Pisces. It is the perfect card, and new moons are great for manifesting. This is about setting a plan in motion, taking that night. If you watch this in the morning, if you missed it, you're still going to have phases of the moon that you can work with. It doesn't have to be exactly the night of the new moon in Pisces. It could be within the same week. It's just more about taking and harnessing that energy, like how the magician is here, so you can apply it to your life, so you can feel free, you can see what you're reaching out for. Okay, so let me start moving these over. We're going to bring in some oracle cards. For pile number 3, we're going to start off with a fan favorite. Let me grab it. These are surrender cards. This tells you specifically, what does pile number 3 need to surrender? And you need to surrender things in order to grow, right? You got to make room for the new and get rid of the old, which is decluttering, even your mental thoughts, letting old habits die, old relationships die that no longer suit you, things like that. Sometimes they flip out, sometimes they don't, but usually they're still too large for my hand, so I do this. First up, surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success, and that is what the magician is about. They're about harnessing that magic and then using it. Surrender to complete healing. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. And, when it talks about to the universe, that's what we're talking about, like the moon, that magic, surrendering to the divine. We're talking about that 6 of air. And then we have surrender to joy. A key to a positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. When you can surrender to joy, it is highly, as the card is applying, please do try to find the joy in things, and also surrendering to finding your joy, to not let it be like a hard path in order to find it. You have to have curiosity, as the page of water would bring in. What is something that you've been curious about that you would like to learn more about? Okay, grab the next oracle. What advice do you have for pile number 3? What does Spirit want you to know? What else would be useful for pile number 3 to know? Just cut the mat right there. Wings, you never needed those wings to fly, which is interesting because, like you say, with that Six of Air, it looks like this person could use wings, but they don't need it, and they're still in the momentum. We have more flying. We have someone flying actually right here. They're jumping in the air. This is about finding your joy, finding that you can have fun even on your own. Protest, start a revolution. For some of you, this is about protesting like to yourself, about allowing you to be kind of in this stagnant feeling. This is also about joining a good cause. For some of you, that missing part in your life might be you need to be able to dedicate yourself to helping others. And this is where you're going to find your resources. You're going to find people that you can like have passionate talks about, something that maybe you were interested about. I would consider joining that. And then we have feast. Slow down and celebrate yourself. Slow down and celebrate yourself is a great card. Also, feast literally just can mean like feed yourself. Like have a good meal. Celebrate your successes. A feast. Some people find joy just by having really good food, splurging on really good food. You know, even if it's cooking food at home or having like really nice treats that you normally wouldn't have. Treating yourself and like sitting upon your throne. And taking that moment, that slowing down moment. Because like I said, we have a lot of momentum, taking action, but we also have to remember things are a phase. They go up and they go down. You don't want to lead to burnout, so bring in that balance as well as slowing down to celebrate yourself and seeing your successes. Okay, let me grab our Secret Garden cards. Oh, wow, okay. They want it out. We have change. As with the falling leaves, embrace change, which is pretty much overall this whole reading is embracing change and talking about why you deserve success for your growth. And then we have opportunity. There is no use looking for luck. It arrives at unexpected times. Again, your connection to the divine when you're finding joy, or you're joining a protest, or you're joining a good cause that you know feel strongly about. You can find opportunities there, opportunities to help others, something that will spark that joy, that will bring you that happiness. Also, when the magician, someone might be presenting to you an opportunity and we see that Eight of Water grasping for it, take it so you can feel this uplifting spirit. Transform. Rise above any situation and become the best version of you. You are going to be taking really great transformation with your life, especially if you surrender to complete healing, surrender to the divine, surrender to this moment as well, this moment that you're dedicating to yourself, so you can see this growth and expansion that you have this potential within you, pile number 3. So keep that in mind. This is a strong transformation for you. All right, that was your reading for you, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. I hope it answered some questions for you. Please drop me a comment if you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate the view. If you share it with a friend, you might think you like this style of reading. Please do so. If you want to join us in the Discord where we can continue the conversation, where we can talk about more tarot topics, you can have fun with TarotBot. All those links will be in the description below. And if you would like to send me a tip as an energy exchange, I greatly appreciate it, but it is not necessary. That tip is via Ko-Fi, and that will also be in the description box below. Thank you again for being here, and I hope it resonated with you. I hope you can just let me know what you thought of this reading, what you thought of the cards, what was your favorite card, that sort of stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.